Automatics in the trunk, shoot the maggots with the pump. Got it natty, love the paddock on my arm. He got static, pussy nigga run your charm. Ghostface killers, Wu-Tang, 21 News Gang, drug dealers in the Mustang, at the top of the food chain, trapping the cocaine, no game, shooter with no name. You can play toe games, the whole game, kicking your dough, man. Yeah, put on the paddock, pop it, set it, I'm an addict. Break the mattress with a batty on the attic. Diamond glasses, need some glasses for the flashes, yeah. Michael Jackson with the fashion, bitch, I'm dabbing, yeah. I do this shit on purpose, got the bitches slurping, whoa. All your pockets on hurting, nigga, you could be my servant. Go to the line, young nigga, don't listen, I purchase. After I cut up a thought, I give her some money for service, yeah. Wherever I go, the whole gang gon' go, yeah. You cannot tame the hoe because she want fame for sure. You think that you rich cause you got 100 or more. I got an overload, look like I just sold my soul. I pour up before a liter, I got the stripes, Adidas. I got a farm, mama, see it, and I've been known to beat it. Niggas ain't going defeated, we get the guns immediate. No running the group is an idiot, these niggas is broken, it's pitiful. Automatics, in the trunk, shoot the maggots with the pump. Got it natty, love the paddock on my arm. He got static, pussy nigga run your charm. Ghostface killers, Wu-Tang, 21 News Gang, drug dealers in the Mustang, at the top of the food chain, trapping the cocaine, no game, shooter with no name. You can play toe games, the whole game, kicking your dough, man.
Yeah, Kim Jong, yeah, big bone, 21 chrome, yeah. Out of my pocket, flooded, got my wrist numb. Link, grab the hit stick, nigga tryna blitz some. Dope boy, I sell coke, boy. 21, you broke ass rappers food, it's a po' boy. 21, everybody the same, all these niggas sound alike. Yeah, Fox 5 gang, turn you to a candlelight. Bitch boy, I'm a mobster, shrimp in my pasta. Jamaican dun-da-da, hang round the shotters. Mad Max nigga, yeah, I hang with the killer. 21, planet of the H, yeah, I hang around gorillas. I got AK, SK, HK, broad day. 21, you a fuck boy, we ain't with the horseplay, bitch. Trump ass nigga, did you do your chores today? Do you wanna take?
Automatics in the trunk, shoot the maggots with the pump. Got it natty, love the paddock on my arm. He got static, pussy nigga run your charm. Ghostface killers, Wu-Tang, 21 News Gang, drug dealers in the Mustang, at the top of the food chain, trapping the cocaine, no game, shooter with no name. You can play toe games, the whole game, kicking your dough, man. Drop from the heaven straight in the wild. Trunk in the front top.
Today, we're going to talk about two baseball futures I just locked in and go over the MLB slate. This is Behind the Lines.
Dude, the Yankees are unbelievably rad meat, and it's so fun. It's so fun to see them lose, but it's always that much better to see them lose in the drop.
What are the Nats going to do? They're calling up Jackson Rutledge. This is the best option we have right now. I thought we already had the Jackson Rutledge experiment last year, Jovan, when he had a 9 ERA. But I don't see it getting any better for the Nats, especially when Davey Martinez is making moves like this, man. Unbelievable. And nobody can tell me that this is just a summer slump. Jovan, it's a disgrace, and it's never going to end. They keep doing the same shit every year and expecting different results. That is the definition of insanity. Fuck this team. They are a joke.
I want Cal Raleigh in this spot. I think he's going to be the guy. He has a run square up too. That's way juicier than anybody else in the game. Didn't want to take that. I like that, but I figured I'd stick to the TVs because I think he is going to hit one very hard.
Right. Easy, a fresh young rapper named Beezy. Soldier boy, tell him make this ish look easy.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Monday, episode 519 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Bookit, if you're not seeing what the Bookit Squad is tracking themselves on Bookits and betting, tailing, or fading accordingly, what are you doing? Do you live under a rock? Start using Bookit Sports today. All right, change your life on a Monday afternoon. All right, Jovan, how we doing? Hope you had a good weekend. How are we feeling on a Monday afternoon?
Alive and well, Krabs. Ready to get after it.
W's. Lauren's asking, is that a shark shirt that you're rocking right now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's go Sharks. Sure.
Of course.
Chat, we already got some subbies flowing in. We got Sam Oliver resubbing as well for 4 months. Let's eat early today, gang. Yes, sir. What do you say, Sam? We got Big Baller coming in as well, resubbing. 7 months with no end in sight. Book it forever. W Big Baller. Flatwoods Fella coming in, resubbing as well. Love to see that. The vibes are up. We got To the Top Timon dropping a subby as well. W's. Hype train. Moving and grooving. Love to see that, Jovan.
Yep.
Can we go into some recaps?
We can.
Friday. All right, let's go ahead and get them over with. Wow, that Pirates game stung.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt.
That one hurt. Yes, and chat's asking right now, can we talk about Matt Wallner? Yes, we can, Big Cheesy. We will get to that in a moment. All right, we can talk plenty about Matt Wallner. All right, we got a 5-unit sub bang from Jay Vogels. Let's go, Jay Vogues.
WJ.
Sure we can. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 subbies. Coming in hot on a Monday afternoon. Love to see that. Chat bricked up. Excited the BTL is back. We cannot be more excited as well. All right. Yeah, the Pirates blew it. It is what it is. We moved. That was Friday. Today's Monday. All right. Who gives a hoot? We're bouncing back today with the squad ride winner. We're still 9-5-1 this month on squad rides. Let's finish July strong. All right, Jovan?
Let's do that.
Sure. You had a great sharp report on a Friday. Look at that. 4-1. Wow.
Yeah.
Only loser was the squad ride. Could not make it up.
Yeah, of course. Shout out. The Pirates could have had 5 or 6 runs off a gallon if they weren't fucking around in the first couple innings. They got to him early, squandered some chances with runners in scoring position, and then bageled, I think, the last 6 innings of the game.
Yep.
And then lost on a wild pitch. So they weren't locked at the end. But yeah, other than that, can't complain.
Yep, I had another losing day on the sharp reports. Chat, I don't know if that means I got to spin the wheel or not. But I'd say if we lean, towards a 50-50, I'd probably lean spinning, to be completely frank with you, especially since we only do these once a week. Chat, what do we think? My sharp reports were not as sharp as they should have been last week. Am I spinning that damn wheel? And I'm also hearing we got some popcorn and some Martians coming in hot from chat. Chat, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being perfect. Crispy, how is the sound right now in the stream? Is it a 10? Is it perfect? Is it a 5? Is it moose shit? What are you guys hearing? Let me know. Lauren saying 10. Big Cheesy saying 7.5. I'm seeing 5s. I'm seeing 8s. All right. I think we're fine. All right. If you're having some troubles, maybe try resetting. Log out of Twitch. Hop back in. Right. Close the app. Go back in. I don't think it's an us problem. All right. Jovan, what do you think, man? Am I spinning that damn wheel? God.
I don't know. I don't know the math on the whole week.
I feel like I was down on sharp report plays, to be completely honest and transparent. I feel like I was down. I think I should spin it. And chat needs it. Chat wants it. Goots, I think we're spinning that damn wheel.
We're
Can we get that thing dusted off?
We can do some W math, or you just want to go right to it?
I think we just go right to it. I think I deserve it.
Mikey just tweeted this out. I want to show this. This is hilarious. Brent Rooker responded to him.
Yeah. W's.
My brother cannot even begin to express how much I do not care.
Oh yeah, I saw that OG tweet. That's hilarious.
Insane. Unbelievable. Yep. That was going to be the steamed crabs today, but not too much to get mad about. All right. Can we take a peep at that wheel? Can we dust off that puppy?
We can.
There it is. There she blows. All right. She's still up and moving. Great. I was hoping that thing would reset or something so we could get some new punishments on here.
Wow.
What do we got?
We're getting bangers right now from trades.
Yeah.
Ty France is going to the Reds bed.
Huh. Didn't he get waived?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was still, I don't think he got like released after waivers. He was just kind of chilling for a bit, like Josh Bell is.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. Well, I'm assuming he's not going to play today.
No.
Right? That'd be a pretty quick turnaround, but we'll talk plenty more about the Reds on today's show. All right. I got a good play in that game that I'm really liking. We're going to talk about it. So stick around. All right. You guys know the vibes. We got some MLB plays. We'll talk about the sharp report, our favorite plays and prize pick squares of the day. And then towards the end of the show, we will do the squad rides and vote for the POD. All right, stick around, stay locked in. Let us know in chat. Drop some questions about plays today. We are here at your service. Okay, we got Dre 1K coming in, resubbing. Got a spinner crabs. Yep, we're gonna spin this puppy, Dre. Don't you worry. All right, don't you worry. Jesse Winker making his Mets debut today. Oh, that sucks. Sucks, man. That's brutal. For a couple reasons, more than just him going to a rival in the same division. We'll talk about why that's moose shit here in a moment when we go over some of my futures I just locked in. All right, chat? Goots, what are we thinking? We got to add anything to this fucking wheel?
We got to add 2 things. 2 new punishments.
I feel like you don't have to kill yourself with these punishments in GTA. Because you did have biggest bet of the season in the PLL that you did feed over the weekend.
That does get swept.
Wasn't counted. You fed a 4-man yesterday too. I feel like overall it was not the worst week.
I agree. 100%. To be honest, I had a great week on the books on all the plays I locked in. Pretty good week on Prize Picks as well. All right, should we add some football-related stuff in here? We're pretty close to the college football and NFL season within a few days. We could lock in something like got to make a video for Coach Prime and talk about, how excited you are for the season coming up and you have high expectations. Coach Prime hype vid.
Coach
Prime
socials.
talk.
Coach Prime.
Talk.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know how we haven't landed on the judge talk yet.
That's
that one's impressive. He just keeps hitting nukes too.
Yeah.
Until that lands on that, probably kicked. I have a feeling when the Yankees come to DC in August, that's going to be a very fun series. I'm sure there'll be plenty of Aaron Judge nukes. Hopefully we get that punishment before then. Okay, because as soon as I make that video, Aaron Judge is going to go into the slump of his career. All right, just wait for it. What else should we add, chat? You guys got any ideas? Let me know. Krabs sounds like Wally. No way I sound like Wally, bro. Do I sound that bad?
No, it's not you, Krabs.
Yeah, I think people just have to close the app wherever they're watching and reopen.
Because for me, it sounds fine, and then for others, it seems to be sounding fine. Something going on elsewhere.
Krabs has to not wear a hat for a week.
That is crazy.
Gosh, man, who's Wally? You don't know Wally, Big Cheesy? Come on, man. Grow up, get cultured. All right, let's lock in. Let's put one more punishment on here. What about I have to go to Commander's minicamp or Commander's training camp?
It's not a punishment, Krabs.
Is that a punishment? No.
How far away is it?
That's your celebration wheel.
It's not that far from you, Krabs. I don't think. Clean shave.
Ashburn.
Yeah.
That's a
Bro, I haven't had a fucking clean shave in like 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not a punishment. That's a treat. Okay, you guys got me. You got me.
Wear a Cowboys jersey on stream.
We'll do the no hats for a week. No Old Bay for a month. I don't know if I'm going to make it, LMNG.
Yeah,
to be completely frank. No Old Bay
I'm
for
not
a month.
even allowed to type that on the wheel.
That doesn't sound safe. Go to a Mystics game?
Sticks.
That's good.
No way.
That's not bad.
You'd have to wait.
That's not good.
You'd have to wait for a bit for that.
Yeah, it's true with the Olympics going on.
Yeah.
All right, let's put the no hat for a week in there.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead and spin that wheel. Go.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Flat.
Thank God.
The platter.
Gotta tail the platter today. Mikey, if you're watching, I'm tailing all your plays today, my man. I hope you're locked in. I hope you're sharp. You seem pretty locked in on TMA. Let me know what the plays are for today. I'm tailing the entire platter. I'm going to cut the units down.
What happens if you it's just fading your plays?
That's moose shit. That's absolute moose shit. Yeah, that's moose. I got to check and see what he's on for today.
Yeah.
I got to check and see. I got to check the platter tweet. All right, that goes out in the afternoons. All right, well, I got to tail all Mikey's plays today. I'll cut the units down. I will tail accordingly. Stay posted, chat. We will see how it goes. I'll give you a recap on tomorrow's show. Okay? W's. We got Drum F coming in resubbing. My goats. W Drum F, you're my goat, my man. Appreciate you coming in resubbing. All right, let's keep recapping here. We got a couple things we got to go over. King of the boards. Let's talk about King of the boards. Both went 3-2. Jovan was up about 0.75 units on me, though. Another great week for Jovan on King of the Board. Underdogs week, but happy to see we both made some coins. So if you guys tailed, once again on King of the Boards, I don't know why you guys let this get swept under the rug, but some of our best plays go in the King of the Board graphic. If you're not tapping in, if you're not checking the Bookit BTL Twitter account every afternoon for the King of the Board plays or graphic, what are you doing? Figure it out. All right. Got too cute with the Rockies for my last play of the weekend, although there was like no underdogs even really left on Friday. Almost made some magic happen, but, close but no cigar. W week, Jovan.
It was honestly pretty impressive. I mean, I was having trouble finding 2 dogs that I was in love with on Friday, and I know you were the same. And we had a plus 145, plus 165. I call that a dub.
Yeah, we take that. We absolutely take that. Jovan, any comments on your winning week for King of the Boards? The floor is yours.
Just had some bigger dogs, 3-2 both ways. The Rockies carried, the Padres carried, the Orioles are still bad. Shocker. Shout out Goots. But yeah, let's do it again.
Sure. Snell on Saturday was unbelievable versus the Moose Rockies. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to get moved. Very, very curious. And Chad, if you guys are curious about the trade deadline, which is tomorrow, if you're wondering what our thoughts are on the trade deadline or some of these teams right now in baseball, if you want to check out our State of the Union podcast, it is still relevant. It is up on Spotify, Apple Music. It's on YouTube as well. We will drop the links right here in the chat for you to go back and rewatch this afternoon. Okay, tap in. Let me know what you guys think about it. All right, let me know in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter, whatever you got to do. Go check out this pod. It is still very relevant. All right, Big Cheesy really enjoyed it. Go check it out yourself if you want to watch and see our beautiful faces on there. Go to the YouTube, drop a like, drop a comment. And if you'd rather just listen, maybe you're on the move, maybe you're mobile, listen on Spotify and Apple. All right, we got the links right here. W's. All right, what else do we have to recap here? Let's promote this week's King of the Boards, right? So we got to give away some coins here.
Let's give away
somebody who believed in Jovan.
Yeah, let's find a milk.
Let's find a goddamn milkman.
Ooh, Colossus Cloud has already won.
We can't be giving away handouts. Not for round 2.
Zach, goated fades.
Zach, goat fades. Okay, let me take a picture. Zach, goat fades. Little milk emoji. Zach, are you in chat right now? Show yourself. Show yourself.
It's got to be him.
Can we get King of the Board plays to be all Olympic plays? See, that would be cool if I was, tapped into the Olympics. To be completely frank with you, I'm just not tapped in enough.
Also, it ends like after stream, pretty much. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
We have to do it for the next day, and it would be cake anyway. Probably not the best idea.
Yep. Wow, we got our guy Zach in chat. People are saying there he is. Written by Zach. W's. Thanks for making an appearance, my man. Hit us up. Hit up the Bookit BTL Twitter accounts. DM them or DM us if you can't. Let us know the email associated with your Prize Picks account. We will put some coins in that puppy. All right? Hit us up. How did my sub ban get swept under the rug along with the op to win more subbies? Davey Martinez's burner. I did not see that you resubbed. I think I'm trying to black out the Nationals from my brain after they just traded Jesse Winker, and they're probably going to make more in the coming days. We got Davey Martinez's burner and OG resubbing for 22 months. Krabs, I saw a Nats legend at Target this weekend. If you guess who it is, I will gift 5 subs. All right, let's have some fun with this real quick. Davey Martinez's burner. Is it a current or former player? Can you at least tell me that? Is it current or is it an old OG? If you could tell me that, I'm happy to give some guesses. Former player. Still in the area, still a local. I'm going to guess Ryan Zimmerman. I'm going to guess Steven Strasburg, although at this point I'm assuming he's moved back to Cali. I'm going to guess Chad Cordero, who I know has moved back into the area. I'm going to guess...
a lot of guesses, Krabs.
He said 5 guesses.
Oh, not in the DC area.
Not active, not in DC area.
What
about Kurt Suzuki? Kurt Suzuki? Yeah, probably cake.
Might be cake.
I'm trying to think of who else it could even fucking be, dudes. I mean, I saw Jason Worth on Saturday. No way it was Howie Kendrick.
Wow, Howie.
Wow, that is a Nats legend. Okay. People forget. Professional hitter, Howie Kendrick. You could plug him on the Nats right now, and he's still probably our best hitter. Dude could just hit for a living. He could hit with his eyes closed. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right. W's, that's sick. You got to see him. My buddy actually saw him out in Cali about a year ago and got a picture with him in the store.
Wow.
So I guess that guy's just out everywhere in public.
Yeah.
He's hanging.
Must be out up and moving.
Most people probably don't even know who, like, you probably wouldn't even recognize Howie Kendrick walking down the street, which is a mistake unless you're a real baseball lifer, right? All right, very cool. Let me know where you saw him, Davey Martinez's burner. That's a W. He loves Target. Sure. All right.
Yeah, he said Target.
Let's lock in. That's sick. All right. Shout out to Water Dogs, like Jovan was saying earlier. The biggest PLL bet of the summer. All right. The biggest bet of July for me. The coins came home barely. Okay. That one was close. That one was sweaty. My goodness. Any of you guys in chat tap in this weekend of the PLL? Any of you guys catch this game, Water Dogs versus Atlas, on ABC? Because that one was bonkers yesterday. The Water Dogs looked great. After a slow start in the first quarter, they took the lead at halftime. And I think they only scored 1 goal in the second half, and they still covered. So I cannot believe it hit, to be completely frank with you, with how bad they played in the second half. But that was an elite cash. And that's why when you're taking a big bet like that, do not fear taking the plus 1.5. It was still plus 110 for the Water Dogs. That's how bad they played so far this season. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but a team that went to the championship last year and it's been so good the last couple of seasons, the Water Dogs are now 1-6. They probably have to win out to make the playoffs. So I'm excited to see them, hopefully in action this weekend in Baltimore. Me and Goots will be there, boots on ground on Saturday. So if anybody's trying to go to the PLL game in person, I know we got some locals, some DMV heads in the chat. Do not feel bad about coming up to me or coming up to Goots at the PLL event on Friday or on Saturday, in Baltimore. If anything, that makes my day. All right, so buy some tickets to the Baltimore PLL series on Saturday. I'm sure those are for sale right now. No chance they're sold out yet, but it'll be packed weekend in Baltimore. All right? Sure. Water Dogs have 3 overtime losses. Yeah, that's moose shit. That's absolute moose shit.
That's quail.
Krabs, I want to make a side wager with you. I'll take the over on Colorado, win total. Loser buys the other, a jersey of their choice. Bro, I'm going to have $1,000 on that. I'm probably good, respectfully. I'm probably good. I appreciate it, though. I like the idea. All right. Homewood Field about to go crazy. Yeah, Homewood Fields. Great fucking lacrosse spot in Baltimore. All right. Kind of the home of the sport. So excited to be there on Saturday. Any of my Maryland heads want to meet up with me in Baltimore? Let me know. All right. We'll be there Saturday for both games. All right. W's. We got about 30 seconds to a minute for me to bitch about something before we go into some plays for today. We got some time? Yep. Good. Run that shit. Guys, I know Gooch brought this up earlier, so we're not going to spend too much time talking about it, but I want to reiterate to you, please do not hit up players after they cost you coins on bets, okay? This is the one way that we could fuck this whole thing up, okay? The one way, in my eyes, where betting could, potentially be, moving back in the wrong direction. Look at what betting's doing right now in the sports, in the country. For sports betting as a whole, every year it continues to grow, gets legalized in more and more states. The one way we can fuck this up is if people are so butthurt after they lose a fucking bet, they send some nasty shit to the players and it ends up being too much. And, they end up reverting back to the old ways. Can we not DM the players some hate after a play that you voluntarily signed up and liked before the game happened and then it didn't hit and then now you're blaming the player? You could have taken, the other side of the bets. You could have taken nothing, right? You chose to do it. I don't know why people blame the players for this shit. I don't know what they get out of hitting up these guys afterwards when they cost them coins. Can we stop potentially fucking this whole thing up by hitting up these players afterwards with some mean comments? Leave them alone. Okay, this is the one way this entire operation can collapse, is if eventually, these leagues are like, hey, this is too much, right? We've already seen it a little bit with some other sports. Leave the players alone. Leave them out of this. Okay, who gives a shit? Just like Brent Rooker says, he doesn't give a fuck about you. You think Brent Rooker's thinking about you? You think he's reading that message thinking, oh, man, I got to hit that kid up with a couple $1,000s here. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a hoot. If anything, he's going to be happy you lost coins because you hit him up like a douchebag. Leave these guys alone. Stop hitting them up. You were going to ruin it for everyone else. Please. Jovan, thoughts on people not having the self-control to not hit up people and players that cost them coins after the games?
Dude, if you don't got that self-control, you shouldn't be placing wagers. Let's just say that. But yeah, it was a pretty funny response from Brent Rooker. I love that.
Yeah, elite.
Crazy that he was also getting bitched at after going 3 for 4 in that game.
The guy's been the best hitter in baseball the last couple weeks. He's been unbelievable. Besides Robles, of course.
Of course. I don't know. He might be better than Robles. Rooker's been literally Barry.
Unbelievable. All you could do is get 3 hits, get 3 singles. You couldn't hit a home run. Like, dude, the guy had a legendary game.
3 for 4 is crazy.
Ridiculous. Stop hitting up these players. Stop acting like a child. Such a weird thing to do, like Brings Picks is saying. Leave him alone. All right. I hope to see more guys like Brent Rooker responding like this because he absolutely stuffed him in a locker. Hilarious. All right. W's, let's move, let's groove. Before we start talking about these 2 futures I just locked in, I want to plug the podcast one more time, guys. If you have some time this afternoon, maybe you're locking in to do some afternoon work. Maybe you're going to get your groceries for the week. Put your AirPods in, go hit the grocery store and listen to the podcast. See what you think about our thoughts on these MLB teams for State of the Union and any of these trade deadline moves. All right, go give the pod a listen. At the minimum, if you're a BTL supporter, if you're a Jovan stan, a Krabs stan, go give it a listen. And on YouTube, drop a like on that puppy. Come on. It helps more than you guys know. Okay?
Quick Nats pulse check on you, Krabs. Where are we at?
Quick Nats pulse check.
Yeah, with what they've done in the deadline so far.
I mean, we traded Jesse Winker for a 6'9" behemoth of a pitcher who's been pretty inconsistent. But I knew we weren't going to get much for Jesse Winker since he was only on, he only has half a contract, half a year left on that deal. And he's a veteran who's kind of been all over the place in recent years. I was not expecting a great haul for Jesse Winker, but I'm happy we got something. I'm happy we got an arm. But yeah, I'm still waiting to hear Lane Thomas's name called. I'm still waiting to hear Kyle Finnegan's name called. I'm curious to see if teams are going to be reaching for guys like Juan Yepez, right? There's more to be done. There's going to be at least one more trade for the Nationals. Hopefully 2, because at this point, you might as well trade everybody between today and tomorrow, right? What were your thoughts on the Nats moves? And then I want to hear you talk about the race.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty interested. I kind of figured that they were going to be on like Rays timing, not waiting until the deadline because they have a lot of pieces that they could unload. But, here we are. I like the trade they've made so far. I'm interested to see what they do with that bullpen now because obviously Finnegan can go. I think everybody sees the deals that the bullpen pitchers are getting and they want to get in on it. So Finnegan's probably going to go for more than you think. And then we got a bunch of arms, I think, they're not great, but I think are going to get overpaid for. Derek
Law.
Yeah.
Having a great season, right? You laughed at Derek Law when we signed him and for good reason before the season.
Yeah.
For good reason.
He was king terrorist on the Reds last year. So yeah, I was skeptical for that reason.
Dude, he's having a great year, Big Cheesy. He's been like the heart and soul of our bullpen. He's the leader. On the 4th of July, he rode the bullpen car with the American flag riding out of it. How can you not love that guy? Give me a break. It's the one time you can use the bullpen carts. I will agree because that was absolutely fucking electric. Look, trade everybody, get whatever you can. What I'm hearing from Finnegan on my end on Nat's Twitter is we're asking for a lot. We're asking for more for Finnegan than a lot of guys have already gotten for people who might be considered better closers or better pitchers out of the bullpen. So the Nats are pretty content with keeping him. If we don't get a great offer, they're going to want something crazy for Kyle Finnegan is what Mike Rizzo is asking for. So I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't get moved. I don't see how we don't package Lane Thomas and Kyle Finnegan to a team that needs a bullpen arm and an outfielder or a bullpen arm and a guy who can hit lefties. I feel like that's a meant-to-be combo personally. But if they like what they're seeing out of Finnegan, I know he's been on the Nats for a while. He's really made he's had a career year this season after being pretty moose shit for the last 5 seasons, to be completely frank with you, and blowing saves left and right. Maybe they're not in a rush to, get rid of him. And I'm okay with that. But if there's any sort of offer about anything good, you got to make the move. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to make the move.
They should be making a move.
We'll see. CJ has made so many errors. He's not a top shortstop. Yep, he's going to keep getting better, though. His defense is better this year than it was last year. That's all I give a shit about.
He's starting to swipe some bags.
Yes, he is. He had 3 in 1 game, I believe, over the weekends. Sure. Don't let him get hot. It might be too late, chat. Do not let him get hot. It might be too late. And yes, DJ Hers is him. All right. I'm tired of anybody doubting. DJ Hers is actually him. He's good. Okay. W's and chat. Yes, we had a great time. Mitchell Parker, not him. Mitchell Parker, not him. Okay. Mitchell Parker needs to hang him up for the year because his arm is literally going to fall off his body.
It's not what I want to hear before today, Krabs.
I know, dudes. I know. Will Volpe ever have a home run again? I saw he had one the other day. Yeah, but no, he's probably not going to hit 2. Yeah.
He's going to hit 2.
Yeah. We're going to need Volpe to hit 2 because that's really what's holding us back. in that BTL entry, along with the CJ Abrams steals, but I still believe. Okay. W's chat. We also had a great time at the racetrack in Saratoga this weekend with America's Best Racing. Shout out America's Best Racing for the invites. Jovan, blown you couldn't make it, but I'm sure we'll be doing more stuff with them in the future. Saratoga was awesome. It was sweet up there. Look, I was lucky enough to go to the Preakness as well with Gucci earlier this year, and the Preakness was awesome. And we had great seats for that too. And we were with the same squad, the America's Best Racing group. It was great, but it was nothing like Saratoga. That place, imagine, guys, a tailgate. You're walking to the horse track, but before you get there, imagine college football tailgate. Imagine Ole Miss, right, and their crazy tailgate scene. Imagine, Virginia Tech, whatever you want to call it, but imagine a bunch of people in lawn chairs sitting around drinking beers, watching TVs. They can't even see the racetrack, but it doesn't matter. People just head up there to tailgate and for the vibes. It was absolutely packed. Yes, literally the Grove, like Lauren's saying right now in chats. Could not agree more. That's exactly what it looked like. People posted up with their chairs, with their squads. It was awesome.
The funniest thing about this picture right here, if you had to guess, Chad, who during the stream you think picked the winner of the race they're talking about while they're up there? Because I was actually dying after Chelly was calling the race, and then the dude with the trumpet came up and ended up with the winner, which was hilarious.
They were asking, look, Chelly tracked down the trumpet guy midstream. He goes, give me a second. I'm going to go get the trumpet guy. Gets the trumpet guy. He plays a song. I think Mikey asked him to play a Drake song. And he's like, yeah, I know Passion Fruit. I guess I can play Passion Fruit. Plays Passion Fruit for a couple seconds. And they're like, all right, get the fuck out of here. And he gives his prediction. That horse ended up winning. Are you kidding me? Chelly, that was all time, bro. That was actually all time. And then obviously Chelly's call on the race as well was hilarious. So W work, W weekends. Excited to do some more stuff with the America's Best Racing squad going forward. Okay. We got P. Lund coming in, resubbing as well. Love to see that. WP Lund. Appreciate the support. 11 months. Let's make it 12. Well, not us. All right. Let's make it 12. Dubs. Let's move. Let's groove. Chad, I did hit a 4-man this Sunday, so let's hope I can stay hot this week. Pretty good week last week with the bets and the Prize Picks lineups. Jovan, you killed it last week as well. Let's have another week. All right, let's keep building the bankroll before football starts.
Yeah, all right. Looks like you're rolling over some funds before football season, Krabs, and a couple futures.
Sure. Yes. Chad, anybody tail this 4-piece? Let me know. Probably not a soul. So soft. All right, let's talk about 2 futures I just locked in for the MLB season. All right, chat. I talked about this a little bit more, broke it down on the pod we just released, and we'll drop the link one more time if you want to hear more of a breakdown on it. But 2 futures that I'm loving for the MLB postseason, Jovan, that I just cannot stop thinking of. I said to myself this morning, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to lock it in right now and not think twice about it, because I could see 2 teams, 2 sleepers, sneaking their way into the World Series from the National League, just like we saw the Diamondbacks do last year. Okay, there's 2 squads on my mind, 2 teams playing really good baseball right now. Besides the Mets losing a couple, I don't care. They're still playing great overall, and they're due to lose a couple. I don't even care if they lose today. Doesn't matter. And we're going to talk about that game too. I still believe, and I like to see both of these teams adding a couple pieces slowly, and would love to see them add a couple more before tomorrow's trade deadline. But Jovan, the Padres. I mean, I've been talking about this team since before the season even started. A team I wanted to buy low on, a team that nobody believed in after they went all in with Soto, Josh Hader, guys like that. Didn't work out. They let him walk. Everybody's staring at him, laughing, right? Well, they've played like it this season, to be completely frank with you. They played with a chip on their shoulder, and I've been so impressed with the Padres and their offense, and they've done this without a lot of their stars. Tatis has been hurt for the majority of the season. We've seen some of their pitchers, like Musgrove, have been hurt for the majority of the year. They've still got guys coming back for a postseason run, right? They're not done yet, and I'm already scared of their pitching rotation. Dylan Cease just threw a no-hitter the other day. He's starting to lock in, that's for sure. I love the Padres, all right? But I didn't want to go all in on one squad for the NL because there's another team giving me Diamondbacks vibes from last season, Jovan, and that is the New York Mets, who have not done something in a very long time. All right, the little brother team of New York kind of feels like the Clippers out there in LA for the NBA, but I think this is the year the Mets could potentially do something and make a run, because just like the Padres, Jovan, nobody believed in this team preseason, but they've got some good veteran arms who have been there before. They've got a lineup that's heating up. They've got some guys like Lindor who are having great comeback seasons. Their role players have stepped up and played great. I think that's the main part that's really stood out for me for this Mets team, is their lineup from top to bottom produces at some point in a series. and that's helped them immensely. They're a very deep team, and their role players have stepped up greatly, and guys like Lindor have returned to their elite form. How about the fucking Mets, Jovan? Do you still believe in them? Because I certainly do. I'm taking them and the Padres, either one of them, to make the World Series and win the National League. The Padres were plus 1,700s. I believe the Mets were plus 2,200s. Some serious value, and I think one of these two squads ends up making the World Series when nobody expects it.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it a little more in depth on the pod, so go check that out if you want any more. But I'm with you. I mean, the Padres have been playing great ball. They're going to make some big addition between now and tomorrow. They've already made some moves. Shout out them getting Jason Adam and grossly overpaying, which got me bricked up.
Sure.
But, I mean, their pitching staff's ridiculous, especially when they get Darvish and Musgrove healthy, fingers crossed, back in that rotation. There's not a better one in baseball, 1 through 5, that I'd take in a playoff series when they're all in there. So that pitching staff is scary. Lineup's doing more than enough, even when they're not healthy either. So, I mean, I love the Padres, and the Mets just simply can't be stopped in any way. And they have not the best rotation on paper, but a lot of veteran experience, and they've been more than good enough themselves. So they're starting to add some bullpen pieces and everything too. So those are two teams I don't want to see going into the playoffs, I'll tell you that.
Chad, I'm telling you, feel free to sprinkle and get involved. One of these two teams is making a run this postseason. You heard it here first. All right. Jovan, speaking of Adam, speaking of that trade for the Padres, I don't want to cut you off. I want to get your thoughts on the Rays and their moves they've had so far and what you're expecting, in the next 48 hours.
Ooh, I mean, there's going to be more. I'm excited, though, because what they're doing, it's very clear. I mean, they've said it, so it's not really a secret. It's a seller's market. There's not many teams that are full-on selling, which the Rays, I guess, look like they're full-on selling, but really they're not. So they're taking advantage of the market, which I thought with the Randy trade, I didn't really love it. That's one that I still don't love because you're not getting like peak value for him, but everything else I love. Zach Eflin, they're replacing Zach Eflin with Jeffrey Springs, who's coming back, taking a spot in the rotation, probably starting tomorrow. So they traded him for what they could get from the Orioles. Cool. They had the Paredes trade where, there's a weird thing. They've been trying to get Christopher Morel from the Cubs for 2 years, which is not a very Rays-like thing because they don't usually hyperfixate on getting guys like this. The only one I can remember them having interest in for multiple years and eventually pulling the trigger to get in a trade, Randy Arozarena. And that was obviously followed by the legacy postseason run. So they see something in Morel. Very obvious he's been one of the hardest hitters in baseball, one of the unluckiest hitters in baseball too. So that's probably going to change. And they're always going to trade Paredes for peak value after an all-star year. Cool. Love that trade and the arm they got back in the bullpen for him. The Jason Adam trade, ridiculous return from the Padres. Love trading with them because you always know they're going to overpay. So, I mean, the Rays, I hate the Randy trade for a couple reasons, but everything else they've done has been perfect. I don't know if people see that they're selling all these big names and they think they're going to be a lot more or a lot less competitive than they were a couple days ago. They're not. It's going to be pretty much the same. So, I'm really excited. And for what's to come, I mean, I don't want to see Brandon Lau go, but the way they're talking about Morel, wanting him to play second base primarily, Brandon Lau kind of plays there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the move.
Right.
And then I don't know what they're going to do with Zach Littell because it seems like Rasmussen's coming back, but they might put him in the bullpen. Fairbanks needs to be gone. He's been nails lately, but if we're getting that type of trade return for Jason Adam, I want Pete Fairbanks on the first bus to whatever team. I don't care if it's in division with the Yankees. I don't care where it is, but they are doing elite things right now that I don't think people realize. They just think they're selling off and it's a fire sale. I love it.
All right. Well, nobody knows that team better than you, Jovan. And I'll tell you what, selling Paredes high after an all-star season, I do feel like is smart. I just hope Christopher Morel is the guy they think he is. I don't know if I'm sold on him, but you seem pretty stoked about it, and they've wanted him for years. So let's see what they can tinker and do with him. All right? At least you got a pretty cool piece back, right? I know you traded away a lot of big name guys, a lot of heart guys, right? On that team, right? Guys who like Randy, obviously, are like clubhouse guys. I feel like Morel could end up, I know he's still young, but he's a fun player out there. And I feel like he could bring some sort of energy, I guess, from, what they're going to be missing after some of these moves.
Yeah, they're kind of missing that because, Randy's gone. Wander pre-situation was also a big locker room guy. I don't know what Yandy's status is going to be, but he's a big locker room guy. So they got to replace him somehow. Morel and Morel and Siri is actually about to be jokes in the same dugout. Those two are hilarious.
Fat Girls can agree. Big clubhouse guy. I could see that. I could tell by how he plays. Great personality, terrible defensive third baseman, and is batting like 190. Let's see what the Rays got up their sleeve. Yep. Can never doubt what the Rays have up their sleeve.
Yeah. I can tell you one thing. He ain't playing third base for the Rays. Because I would expect by tomorrow or the day after that Junior Caminero is coming up and he's going to play third base. And outside of the fact that they said they want to play in second, he's either going to be playing second or DHing, it would seem to me.
Smell you later, Brandon Lau.
I hope not. I really hope not. That's another guy that I really don't want to see go, especially because we have like no lefties in the lineup and he's been the only good one. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, you're telling me the GM, is he just not watching the game? Does he just not give a fuck? Maybe he's not a Christopher Morel guy. I don't know how you do that. Leave your dude out to dry after being on the team for years. It's so fucked up. You can't wait 30 minutes till the game's over. You can't even wait till after his at-bats. I don't know, man. What's up with this? What's up with everybody getting traded mid-game? I feel like GMs just don't give a single shit, to be completely frank with you. It's almost like they're big dick in the players. It's disrespectful because they're the ones that make the calls and get the final say. They're the ones moving the chess pieces, and they're treating them like shit. Moving guys mid-game is absurd. Moving them right after the game so they can dap up their guys, sure, and talk to them in the clubhouse, love that. I'm not saying to do it at 3 a.m. Eastern, right? I'm not saying the guy should wake up and see he's traded, but can we have some respect for these dudes?
Yeah.
Trading a guy mid-game? That's just not it. There's not a single argument that can be made to back that. I don't get it.
It was also just like in general, I thought it was a pretty curious move for the Cubs. Like they're a Chicago team. So like they had their fire sale once post World Series. So realistically, if they're not in like last place by a million games, they're never going to de-ego themselves to do another fire sale or be full sellers because they're a big market. I don't know why they're like half buying, even though it's not like a big spend, I guess. But like, I don't know what they're doing. And especially like for Paredes, like he's a better hitter than I guess what they have in the lineup now. Sure. It's just he only hits home runs right down the line. And the Cubs have the deepest home to left field foul pole in baseball. It's pretty interesting to me. But I mean, Paredes is Paredes. So I'm rooting for him in Chicago.
Yeah, sell high and buy low on Morel, who's not having the greatest year, but maybe they can do something with him. All right. I like it. Maybe Brandon Lau gets moved as well, and we see we see some call-ups from the minors, and we see Morel move to second base. I don't know, but I doubt he plays third base as well. I think there's more to be done with the Rays, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thoughts on the Jazz trades? Good question here from Cole Trains, and also a big Matty Mart sub-bang coming in hot, saying a great pod. Keep up the good work. Thoughts on the moves the Yanks can realistically make. So let's talk about Jazz and how that's the most overrated move in baseball and how people are acting like they just re-signed Bryce Harper or traded for Bryce Harper. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, look, great. The Yankees went out. They got a guy. I still think they should go out and get some more guys personally, but is Jazz Chisholm really moving the needle? Why are people acting like they just acquired an MVP in this league? I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean the Glaze yesterday was crazy when he beat out an infield single and scored on a sac fly. They were acting like he just had a 3 home run game in his debut. But like baseball wise, I don't know if it's really going to move the needle all that much. It's just like, I mean, locker room wise, I think it's a bigger pickup than anything if they can get on the same page. I know the issue was getting them in the locker room and how they worried how that would transpire potentially, but they need some kind of spark like in the bottom of that lineup, I guess more than just baseball, because the bottom, they just look non-competitive 24/7. So at least Jazz is going to bring a little fire, a little spark to the middle to bottom of that lineup, depending on the day. So, I mean, that, I guess, more than anything, play with some fucking heart, play with a little swag, because
he'll bring it.
Somebody's got to bring it, because other than Soto, when he's actually playing well, and I don't know, Judge is Judge, but he's not really like a rally leader, all-time heart guy. When he's out there, he just kind of does his business and moves on. Somebody else has got to do it.
Yeah, I guess Juan Soto doesn't have enough heart, right?
He's got heart. He's got plenty of heart. It's just
Got
it
more
feels
heart than
like
anybody else in that team combined.
it always feels like the heart dies down after him. It's like they're hopeless the rest of the way through the lineup. And if anything else happens, it's a miracle.
Okay, did not mean to click on that one. Jesus. He's playing infield. Yes. Their coach is Boone said he wants to play in second base, which makes a whole lot of sense, to be honest. Maybe he'll be moving around. Who knows? I don't think it's going to be, a trade that really, launches the Yankees to a World Series. I was hoping they would be doing more if I was a Yankees fan, but we still got some time, right? We still got some time.
Come get Pete Fairbanks, the Yankees. I've been seeing the rumors. Come get him, and you're going to pay a shit ton for him. So have fun.
All right. Any other, our guy Big Matty Mart asked what other moves the Yankees should make. Any other positions and needs that, stand out immediately?
They need an arm, but realistically, like we're talking, I don't know, position players. I mean, take what you can get, whoever the fuck it is. Because like they can use, like outfield is not a priority per se with Soto and Judge out there, but you can go get one if you want, because you got Verdugo who can DH at any time. Go get an infielder depending on where you're going to play Jazz. It's just like for a bat, I think you get who you can for a cheap enough, I guess, deal, because they need something down there. But yeah, go get a bat, go get an arm. It's really all you can ask for.
You think that steam that I'm hearing about Crochet potentially to the Yankees has any truth behind it? Or is that just some bullshit? Somebody out there is thinking, the Yankees must be making calls about Crochet, since they do with every big name.
Yeah, I think everybody's checking in on Crochet and Scooball at this point. Probably, I guess the Scooball checking in is probably dying down, minus the Orioles, because I still think they're the only one who could possibly do it, and I don't think they're going to do it. But I don't know. The Crochet stuff is weird, especially after he came out bitching, saying he's not moving to the bullpen, he's not going to have a different workload, basically begging to stay in Chicago by saying that shit. So I don't think it has any legitimacy to it.
Yeah, the Orioles said that they're not trading any of their top prospects, so Basallo, Mayo, and Holiday. And there's no way we can get that done.
I don't think they can
get Scooball.
Do that. Yeah. I think it's kicked.
So,
all right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Somebody in chat had a good comment here, or actually a bad comment I wanted to address. They said Ben Rice for John Gray. It was Primer. Didn't John Gray already get moved?
No, he got hurt yesterday, right?
Who got moved from the Rangers rotation? Didn't somebody just get moved?
Lorenzen got traded to the Royals.
That's who it was. Lorenzen. Yeah. Apologies.
Which
Long Lucia, veteran starter. Yep.
Yeah, he's not very good, but he's better than what the Royals have. You can get I think Alec Marsh is pitching today. It's probably his last start. He's probably going to the pen. The Royals need everything they can get as far as
Hunter Harvey just got hurt too the other day. Brutal.
Yeah.
You just traded for him. He got hurt immediately.
I mean, that bullpen's fucking terrible. Hunter Harvey or not. They need like a full they need a full transplant pretty much for that bullpen.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see what they do. Still a lot of moves to be made, chats. If you're a baseball guy or gal, you know that most of the action goes down in the next, 28 hours here, right? The deadline's at 6 p.m. or is it 3 p.m.? I forget if it's afternoon or night, but either way.
3 p.m.
Tomorrow.
6. It's 6 tomorrow.
Oh, it's
a little later.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is when the magic really happens. All right. The next, 27 hours-ish or whatever it is. We're going to see some moves we did not expect. There's still a lot more moves to be done. Can the Astros do something? Yeah, dude. What do the Astros need?
They need a first baseman.
Yeah.
Which that's why, I mean, I was a little surprised they weren't a little more aggressive going out and getting Paredes, but I mean, they've had Yandy talks too. So if that happens, I feel like I don't want Yandy to go, but if there's anywhere I'm down with him going, it's Houston, because I know we're going to get back a solid return. Lo Profito is 100% a Ray, which would be cool among some other players. But yeah, they need a first baseman like air. I don't really know where they can go outside of Tampa, unless they want to claim like Josh Bell, because Vladdy ain't going anywhere.
I mean, that honestly can make a lot of sense. Josh Bell to the Astros.
I mean, it does make plenty of sense.
Yeah. All right. I like Josh Bell. He just stinks. He stinks now.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
If he wasn't a little more expensive than like a usual pickup would be, I could so see the Rays trading Yandy and going to pick him up, but he's probably a little too pricey for their shoes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Chad, if you guys want to hear any more about some MLB trade deadline moves or just pulse checks for any teams, your team in the MLB, go check out the pod we released late last week. Still very relevant, still worth a listen. I've heard a lot of compliments about it. People are liking it. Go check it out for yourself. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let us know what we should talk about next. All right. Sharp Report has not been flashed, but luckily for you, Davey Martinez's burner, it is en route and on the way here. All right. Right after I address Ron's comment, because he's a goat. Krabs, I nuked the Atlas ML yesterday. Only problem, I paired it all separately with Shohei, Trey, Bregman, and O'Neal to get a hit. Surely they all went hitless. Oh, Jesus. Ron. That hurts, man. That hurts. Good call, though, with the ML. We both smacked the play in that game. All right. Let's lock in. All right. I want to go to the Sharp Reports. Jovan, let's talk about some winners for today, and I can get us started off. I'm happy to with the Red Sox. Look, I know there's a Sunday Night Baseball system that you live by, but I'm taking it. I'm crumbling it up, and I'm throwing it out the window. I'm back.
They don't count. They don't count for it, Krabs. It's the Yankees that count for it today.
Okay.
The Red Sox aren't going anywhere.
All right, that's fair. W's then. All right, so we're not fading the system. That actually makes my day because I was nervous about it anyways, but I cannot ignore the Red Sox catching minimal steam, just a little bit, nothing crazy, but I am seeing them a little bit of a heavier favorite some places now, only a matter of sense, but just the fact that Nick Pivetta, after a mooshit start and his 4.5 ERA, are catching a little bit of steam against Logan Gilbert, an all-star, and his sub-3 ERA. And look at the earned run square that's up on the board as well for Logan Gilbert, coming off some really good starts. So the Red Sox bats are going to get active, coming off of 2 losses. They just lost, I believe, 3 out of 4 against the Yankees. And for the first time in a while, the Red Sox do not have a ton of momentum. And I think they bounced back today against the Mariners on the roads, fading the Mariners when they're at home. That scares me a little bit in Seattle, but on the road, they are more than fadeable, and they've won 3 straight games here. The Gilbert squares up on Prize Picks are weird. I think Pavetta's squares tell me he's going to pitch pretty solid as well. I'm going to back the Red Sox on the ML, catching minimal steam here at home, and a worse pitcher, Pivetta, on paper against Gilbert as a favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think Logan Gilbert has a pretty tough day.
Krabs literally going to have to take the Mariners today. Yeah, probably for Mikey. Does his platter already have the Mariners? Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's Logan Gilbert pitching. He takes him every fucking time he pitches.
Might have to sit this one out, but I would recommend this one to you guys. Check out the Red Sox on the ML. All right. Gilbert is good on the road and better versus lefties. I know he's good on the road. That makes it even weirder that he's up on the boards.
He is definitely not better versus lefties. That is false.
Okay. Well, Red Sox ML, Jovan, can I get you on board?
Yes.
Good. W's. Keeping it simple. I still believe in that team. We'll see if they can get their pitching situation figured out. Very curious to see if they make any moves in the next day or so, but they might just ride it out with what they have, not do anything crazy, and just see how much, Alex Cora can get out of his guys, because it's been impressive so far. Okay. Yep. Let's go check out Jovan's first play of the day. Go take a peep at it. What could it be? The over in game 2 in a doubleheader between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Orioles. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I don't usually like to get involved in doubleheaders, especially totals, because they're always a little inflated, but I could not help myself with this second game because I think Bowden Francis is coming up for a spot start from the minors. He was dog meat when he was actually a part of the major league roster and got sent down because of it, and now he's coming back up against an Orioles team that's going to have a bunch of lefties that'll give him trouble. So, I mean, I hate trusting the Orioles bats, but it is what it is. The matchup's great. I wouldn't be surprised if this is their best offensive output in a while in this game, too. And then on the other side, Cade Povich, who made his debut against the Jays. And I kind of talked about it. I don't think I took it that day, but I know you were somewhat involved in backing him, and he had a tough day against the Jays. The problem with the Jays is if you nibble around the corners against the Jays, you can be really, really good. But for guys that don't have strong command, who either leave it hard of the zone or, in Cade Povich's case, lately he has lost total command of the zone. If you do that against the Jays, you're feeding them runs because they hit into a lot of soft contact, and you're not forcing them to do that. You're forcing them to take walks, or you're forcing them to swing at meat. So I think both of these pitchers get rocked. Definitely helps that in the Blue Jays case, Yariel Rodriguez is going game 1, so they're probably going to push him as far as they can, but he's not a guy that goes very long, and Bowden Francis obviously isn't either. So if we get into a lot of that bullpen for, I don't know, both of these games, I think the Orioles can destroy them. And with Cade Povich on the other side, I am not scared one bit of the Jays bats not putting up runs.
Yep, we know they like facing some lefties. And Povich might not be that guy, unfortunately for Goots. He might not be that guy. Okay. Sign me up. Runs in game 2. Let's hope we get a 1-0 barn burner in game 1, and then we back the over in game 2. I'm in.
Yep.
Sign me up. All right, let's go back to my sheets. Let's see what I got for play number 2. And what do you know? It's back in the Twins and fading the hottest team in baseball who I just locked in a future for. Who else would fucking do that ever on earth? Nobody out of the 8 billion, but I'm here. The only one showing up and doing my job. It's a win-win, to be completely frank with you. But let's talk about this game and why I'm fading the Mets, who I just locked in a future for to make the World Series. Okay, still believe in the Mets. Look, it's one game. Who gives a shit? They got 162 of them. One game doesn't matter. All right, I want to get in, get out, get cute, and fade the Mets, who have lost their last 2. Okay, they were on absolute fire, probably still the hottest team in baseball, technically, if you look at their last 40 or 50 games, just by record, even with those 2 losses. But the Twins starting to heat up once again as well after a little bit of a lull coming out of the break, a little bit of a lull heading into the break. I know they've had some guys hurt as well, but they've won 3 of their last 4. And I like seeing Woods Richardson catching, minimal steam after the Mets originally opened up. Small favorites, got some steam overnight and this morning. Now we're starting to see that line go back to where it opened up towards the Twins, which is huge because, on paper, wouldn't you think most people would want to back the Mets right now at home with how they're playing overall against Woods Richardson? Who wants to back him? Me. I do. That might be it. But I'll back them on the ML. I like the way the Twins bats are hitting the last couple nights. And I want to fade Quintana, who has a nasty, nasty earned run square up on the boards after being really, really good.
Yeah, I like the Twins. Their lineup back and, for the most part, fully healthy. It's a lot of righties that kill lefties, which is why their numbers took a pretty big dip when they were out. Now that they're back, they set up a lot better. So I think they hit Quintana quite a bit. I think we see runs in this game too. A lot of them from the Twins.
All right. Yep. Quintana's got that 2.5 earned runs allowed square up on the board, chat, and he's gone over that only 1 of his last 5. He's even thrown 2 shutouts, both against the Nats, though, so they don't count in that period. But today, against a much better offense that's starting to, pick back up, get healthy, get hot, with guys like Matt Warner, hopefully getting involved. Cough, cough, Matt Warner. Cough, cough, lock him in for a home run, please. I just said his name. It's got to be the Twins.
Play today, Krabs.
He might not, but if he does, or even if he gets a pinch hit, still got to give it a shot, right?
Yeah, it's fair.
Still got to give it a shot. But yeah, might not be playing against a lefty at least to start, right?
Yeah.
Good point.
You would think.
Good point. Well, maybe he goes in there for the second half of the game and makes some magic happen.
Yeah, right? Why not? Why
not? We got Sumo Nasty coming in, resubbing as well. I wonder what he thinks about the Red Sox and the Twins, my first 2 plays. Jovan, let's get to play number 2 for you. What do you got on the board?
Fading Mitchell Parker.
Ooh, great.
Yeah. It kind of has to be done, Krabs. It has to be done.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit. Mitchell Parker going on the road to Arizona, and they have been continuing to hit lefties really, really well, and also been super patient against lefties, both in the pitches taken per plate appearance department and just general walks, which you look at the way Mitchell Parker's been pitching recently, the command has been fantastic. And when he has got in zone, it's been hit really, really hard. So I think this is a pretty big offensive game for the Snakes, especially after yesterday's disappointment. That game was crazy. I don't know if you caught the end of that game, but Paul Sewald masterclass blowing the game in the 9th, and then they almost caught back up in the 10th after giving up 4. They scored 3 and left Corbin Carroll stranded on 3rd in the last out of the game. So bounce back from that, of course, with the bats at least. I don't know if I want to trust Jordan Montgomery, especially because I know the Nationals are not going to strike out all that much, even though it is a lefty, which they've been pretty bad against. I don't want to go to the grave with Jordan Montgomery today, but I'll go to the grave with fading Mitchell Parker with the bats.
We got a Rav bomb. Quinn Priester to the Red Sox. Whoa.
For Nick Yorkie, who's a prospect for the Red Sox, who I like a lot. So I don't mind that trade.
Ooh.
I don't know what the Red Sox see in Priester, but
I think they just need arms, dude.
Yeah, but he's been moose shit.
They're not going to start him.
Yeah.
He's just going to be a spot reliever.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Goots, cook real quick, please. Sure. That could be a good move for the Pirates, Rav.
Yeah,
it sounds like it. Goots is liking what he's seeing.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat.
Middle infielder, contact guy, gets on base. I like guys that get on base.
Yes.
Sure.
They get swept. Somebody in chat was asking, it was my guy Turner Mac, I want your confidence on the Nats striking out today. I'm thinking J-Mont less than 3.5 Ks. Well, looking at his strikeouts chart and how he's done recently, kind of reminds me of Patrick Corbin with such a low number. But the fact that it's at 3.5 after he's only gotten 1 and 2 in his last 2 starts, it does not make me super confident in fading him. But I mean, how much lower are they going to put it? 2.5? That would be so low for a starting pitcher, right? So, you got to take that with a grain of salt. But I still don't love it. I'll be completely frank with you. I'd probably even lean the more than strikeouts, especially considering we might see Lane Thomas get traded before this game even happens. And who the fuck knows who's going to fill in, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what the Nats lineup's even going to be tonight if there's trades to be made. So, yeah, just being honest, Turner Mac, don't love it. All right?
Fair.
Jovan, I like that D-backs team total. And, yes, they almost came back and pulled that off last night. I did have a Diamondbacks ML ticket in my pocket. That was moose shit.
Yes, did I.
Eugenio Suarez, he needs to be mentioned and gassed up. Besides Victor Robles, he's probably the hottest hitter in baseball right now.
Yeah, seeing the ball well.
He's on fire, hitting almost 500, coming out of the break with plenty of nukes. He is dialed, carrying that offense. It was almost enough. Yep. All right, let's get back to my board here. Let's keep finishing up with some plays. My last straight bet for the Sharp Reports. Give me the Reds bets. We might need it, Jovan. Give me the ML. We're fading the Cubbies, who are making some moves right now. Still trying to stay relevant. Only 5 games under 500, just like the Reds are. Reds coming off of 2 straight losses. They've got Random McGee up on the bump. Spires projected to make a start against the veteran Trent, a.k.a. Jameson Taillon, who's got that sub-3 ERA, and he's actually been pretty damn solid after a couple bad starts to start the season. He's locked in. On paper, the Cubbies should be favorites in the spot, right? Especially coming in off of 2 wins. The Reds lost their last 2 games, and both these teams have familiar records. Why the hell is Jameson Taillon not getting more line respect? Well, if you look at Prize Picks, you'd think that whoever's making those squares for Jameson Taillon today thinks that he's going to have the worst start of his career. His squares are disrespectful, I would say so myself, especially considering how the Reds' offense has been of late. But I believe in them, especially with a total this high in a game that involves a guy with a sub-3 ERA in Taillon. So the total's up to 9.5, right? If we were going to get a pitcher's duel, if Taillon was going to shove, total will probably be a little bit lower, even if it's in the Great American Small Park. But the fact that it's that high tells me there's runs to be had. Taillon's not going to shove, and that gives an edge, in my opinion, to the Reds at home against a moose shit Cubs team that is extremely fraudulent. Sorry, Joshy, if you're listening, but it's true. The Cubs are not great, and the Reds, I still have a glimmer of hope. Seeing Spears, though, at a pick'em against Taillon is enough I need to see to bet them today. That's for sure. Yeah,
and I'm definitely in on that. I went with the over, but for somewhat similar reasons.
All right. So what do you like about runs from both sides and not just the Mets?
Yeah, well, so what do we know from the Reds? I'll tell you what we know from the Reds. They are the most, I don't know if it's streaky or not streaky, but they flip-flop performances from series to series all the time. And they just came from a series in the Trop where there were a total of 12 runs in 3 games. And the Reds offense scored 1 in the last 2 games of that series. They scored 1 yesterday. That was it. So coming back into this series, I think we're going to see a lot of runs. And the Cubs offense kind of got themselves going against a bad pitching staff. We'll say that, but they were solid against Reagans too in that series against the Royals for the most part, I guess the last couple games. So now I think they carry that into this series. I don't like Carson Spires at all, especially in this game because the Cubs have a lot of lefties. So I think that could be a little bit of a problem for them, especially the power ones, which we'll talk about in a second. But on the other side too, like you mentioned it, why is the line close as it is? I think it's going to be because the Reds bats get the tie on a little bit, whether it's, a lot of the power guys that they have too, which is where he struggles. So like runs, the bullpens are bad on both sides. The Reds bullpen has been worked a lot lately too. So, they're a little depleted. So if they do I know there's potential weather in this game too, which could only help the run scoring environment. I don't know how much that helps the Reds because their bullpen's already a little gassed, but if we're seeing these bullpens for a while, which I kind of think we are, that only helps the argument. But I don't like both these pitchers.
I think with or without weather, just looking at the squares for Taillon and just knowing Spears, we're probably going to get some early runs in this game, and we're probably going to see the bullpens early, which is a good sign for runs. right?
Yeah, I swear every time the Reds come off like an absolute stinker of a series, they have been coming out early with runs when you least expect them to. Just like, I don't know, like the National Series. What do they do? Like in that first game, they put up early runs against the Braves, and they came back greatest offensive performance of the year against them in the first. Or they were supposed to have a doubleheader that next day, but they only ended up playing the one game. So like they've been doing that for a month, literally.
Okay. All right. Chat, what do you think about our 6 straight bets for today? Are you liking these MLB plays? You liking these angles? Let me know. All right, we're about to dive into some prize pick squares for today as well. Let's go take a peep at them. Let's go take a look. I got a couple that I've already mentioned because I like to make them correlate with my straight bets, and that's actually treated me pretty well for baseball this season. Let's talk about that Logan Gilbert square again, which, by the way, the over is juiced on the books. Last time I checked, it was minus 120 to the over, more than 2.5 earned runs on the books, and that's why I'm backing Logan Gilbert, more than 2.5 earned runs allowed on prize picks. I like the Red Sox. I like runs in this game. I'm not scared that they played last night. They're still at home, like Jovan was saying, after Sunday Night Baseball. But just the fact that that square is even up on the boards with how well he's pitched recently, especially with the Red Sox losing 3 of their last 4 games, that's a little bit weird to me. I know Fenway Park totals are always a little bit higher. There's more runs to be had. Odds makers know that. They bake that shit in. I still cannot resist. I have to fade the all-star Logan Gilbert with that weird earn runs allowed square up on the boards.
Yeah, I will join you on that square.
Wow. There's no way in fuck that Eric Fetty is getting moved right now. He's going to the Cardinals? Wow.
It's not confirmed, but it's a 3-team trade. It involves Tommy Edman going to the Dodgers as well. And then prospects to the White Sox. Yeah.
Whoa. Prospects to the White Sox, Tommy Edman to the Dodgers, and Eric Fetty to the Cardinals?
Yep.
What the?
It's a fire trade, look.
I'm going to guess it includes Jordan Walker. That's my guess.
Whoa.
We'll see.
I would hope
It's
for
hot take.
the sake of whoever's getting him, it doesn't. He's moose.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
He might be a fraud. Yep.
Might be.
Y'all like Logan's K's, or do you think he just gets moosed? The Red Sox strike out a lot. I mean, I will take a peep at it real quick.
I don't know. The Red Sox strike out a lot against lefties for the most part.
I mean, looking at his chart, I definitely do not like Logan Gilbert more than 6 strikeouts. No fucking chance. If you're scared of the earned runs, chat, you could just take his less than fantasy score, which is also looking pretty weird. He's got multiple squares up there on the board that look weird. Or you could just trust me and take a nasty square because we've been doing pretty solid on these puppies. Barring what the chat might think after 1 earned run square loses and everybody loses their fucking mind like the world's coming to an end, right? Haven't heard a peep about people coming back saying, hey, good earned run square yesterday, my man. Not once, right? That doesn't happen.
What, Heaney was on your sharp report last episode?
Didn't hear a peep about it. Didn't hear a single
congratulations.
Hitting the first inning. Didn't hear a single person say good square, good play. Nobody gave a shit. They're just waiting for the losers so they can root against them. Yep.
Well, I got I'll let you talk about Tyone, but I do have a W stack square in that game for you.
You want to go there?
No, talk about Tyone first. So we can break it down after.
All right. Jameis Italian. Look, I already talked about how I think he's getting hit up. I like that total's that high. I like that there's potentially some weather. I guess the one thing that worries me about this is if the game gets delayed and he gets pulled before he can give up that many hits. But I can't resist how weird this square is as well. If you take a peep at it, you can see for yourself. It's a pretty greened out square. And that's why, redded out square. And that chart is way higher, this number, than what he's been giving up of late. And I think that's for a reason. I think he gets absolutely mucked up today and gives up at least 6 hits. This was also juiced to the over on the books as well. Another great sign that I did not expect to see, but as soon as I did, I locked this puppy in. Italian is extremely fadeable today. All right, lock in this square, chat. Probably my favorite square of the day, fading Jameis Italian and take it as more than 5.5 hits allowed.
I'm in. Yeah, I think your only thing stopping you there might be a delay, but
that would be brutal. But I will charge it to the game. If that
would be tough. That would be tough.
All right. What if he gets traded mid-game? Ray says, then I will charge that to the game. It is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Okay, Jovan, I want to see your squares. Talk about them. Flash them. What do we got?
Yeah, I went with a Cubs square in that game that I like the over in. Spires has been god awful against lefties really since they brought him up even last year. especially power guys and especially guys that are big-time fly ball guys because he cannot get a ground ball to save his life. So the guy who's kind of been kind of cold recently, I know he looked decent yesterday, hit some balls hard, but he hasn't been great as of recent. He is a noted Reds killer, though. Taking Ian Happ. I have already seen the nuke that puts them out in front early in this game. It always happens, I swear, whether it's him or whether it's Seiya. They both have legacy games every single time they go against the Reds, other than maybe the last series. I think Happ wasn't good against them. But I love his matchup today, no matter how good or bad he's been recently. I think he gets the Spires early, and then the bullpen he's all seen a million times too. So I think he lines up pretty well against them. And then hitter-wise, Jaron Duran is my guy against Logan Gilbert.
Huh. All right. That's a W.
Yeah, I mean, he's been really, really good against these pitchers that are a lot worse to lefties and giving up a lot of hard contact but somebody was saying Logan Gilbert is only 193 against lefties so far this season. He's only given up 188 to righties. So, he's been dominant for the most part against righties, especially if you look at the strikeout numbers and the hard contact numbers. A lot of his worst stuff comes against left-handed pitching. Or left-handed hitters, which Jaron Duran is. And Jaron Duran, I think, is a stereotypical guy that you want to take against Logan Gilbert, especially when you think he's going to give up runs. So after he bageled yesterday, he was facing a lefty. Rodon was pitching pretty well, obviously, and it's lefty-lefty. Now he gets a perfect situation, I think. So I'm taking Duran.
Speaking of bagels, Jack Flaherty, get ready to learn bagels, bodegas, and Subways potentially because he just got scratched. Now it is Jack Flaherty, chat. I'm not saying I'm rooting for it or that I'm expecting it, but would not be shocked if it was an injury. But that's also a team that's going to sell, and maybe we see him on the move right now. I'd say there's a better chance of that. Gates, you don't even want him back. You've already tried that experiment, right?
They scratched him to prevent him from trading. It's already been reported, or prevent him from getting hurt to be traded.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if I want to run that back. But I mean,
any predictions? Where do we think Flaherty ends up?
I said from the start I thought he was going to the Dodgers.
Okay.
I could see that.
I think it's Dodgers, Astros.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's an AL East team.
Huh.
Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles.
It could be the Nats.
Yeah.
I think it is Dodgers, Astros. That's my final answer.
Trent, do we want him, though? Do we want him on the Stros?
We
need somebody. Right,
yeah, he's having a hell of a year. You got Jake Bloss pitching today for the Astros. Who, granted, he's about to beat Paul Skeens, but it's not a guy you want starting in a playoff series.
Wow, Astros ML against Skeens, huh?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Gave you a discount today after last night. Minus 160 to minus 130.
Sure.
Cheapened it up for you.
Yeah, it should be a good look, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Should be. All right, Jaron Duran, Ian Happ, back in both their bats today. And I've got a couple squares I love as well today, chat. Sticking with the pitchers, if you can't tell already, I mean, I'm pretty much putting pitcher squares up there damn near every day. Jovan sticks to the hitters for the majority. It's a good little combo. It's worked out pretty well. So I've got Logan Gilbert's more than 2.5 earned runs allowed, Italian more than 5.5 hits allowed. And you can see Jovan's two favorite squares, at least as of right now, up on the boards right here. All right, chat, do not let these get swept. I'm sure Trent will be locking in a 4-piece with these squares, and I will be tailing as well. Have to be locking in the 4-mans for the Sharps report. There he is.
Weather report rumors.
Oh no,
I'm asking you about your squares.
Yeah, and Cincy.
Can't be having.
Yeah, that scares me a little bit, Trent, but I can't ignore the square. It has to be done. It is what it is. I think he gets absolutely crushed, and we don't see Tallien go, more than 4 innings. I'd be shocked if he even completes 4 innings. Looking at all his squares on Prize Picks for today and looking at that total moving up, I'm still sticking with it. I'm taking it.
Sure.
Let me see what the sports betting weatherman has to say about that game, though. Let me see what Roth is saying. You might have some thoughts.
Roth's definitely up and moving.
Not loving how the Reds game looks. Most other games in decent shape. I'll keep the Cincy game and all others updated. Shit.
If you want to take an anti-tie-on square, just to have something in the game, Trent, I think you go to the run category and you take Spencer Steer. So, I mean, that one, I think he can get regardless of if he sees Tyone, I don't know, less than 2 once.
Damn, that's brutal. This guy, the weatherman, is not loving that game, but I feel like the weatherman are wrong like more than half the time. So maybe that's a good thing.
Could be. They're also like, whenever they play in Cincy, they're very conservative. So like if they never, I don't want to say never, but if there's like a threat of rain, they'll push the game back to a later start. They avoid in-game delays as much as they can.
All right, so maybe we'll get a pushback start time, and maybe they'll sneak it in. Maybe they won't, but I'd prefer that, honestly, with that Italian square up there so we don't get shafted and the game gets paused in the second inning and we don't see him go back out there. That would be moose shit.
That'd be terrible. Over, though.
It'd be terrible. Yeah, it would be good for the over, though, as well. Okay.
Surely you were splooging about Ty France to the Reds.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, what if that happened while he and Brandon Drury were bustos at the same time?
Damn.
I might have moved to Cincy. I actually might have.
Trent, man, you hoping and praying we see the Astros make a move in the next couple hours here?
Dude, please, bro. Please.
Well, you can take them today.
That's we fading Skeens.
Yeah, Jovan, you want to power through the MLB slate really quick for 5 or less, and then we'll do the squad right here?
Yep, let's do that.
We got Toronto and Baltimore. Game 1 that we have not talked about at all. Early starts. What are we thinking about Zach Eflin's debut? Are you going to spite fade him?
No, I'm not going to spite fade him, I guess. I don't know. I guess it seems like everybody's fading him because he's pitched against the Jays a bunch of times, which that certainly doesn't help him. But I'm not running to fade him or fade the Orioles either because I don't think Yariel is going to do all that well against the Orioles, especially because, like, I know they're going to push him longer than usual because they have no choice to with a doubleheader. That usually doesn't work for pitchers, a.k.a. remember when Zach Gallen got pushed coming back from injury to a little longer than he should have, and he gave up a nuke to Duvall in those games. That happens a lot to pitchers, especially ones that don't go this long period. So I'm worried about that. I'll say that. And the fact that the Jays have a bullpen game, so if they are down by a little bit, I don't want to say they're going to punt the game, but maybe they're saving some more longer relief, better arms for the second game too. I don't know.
How long is that Rodriguez guy going to pitch?
5 innings. He goes like 80 pitches a majority of the time.
He's been good.
Yeah. I mean, like on paper, he's been solid. It's just because it definitely helps that his leash is so short.
Yeah.
But okay. I don't know what they're going to do today because they can't really afford it. I was interested because his like 14.5 pitching square is always a goblin. It's a goblin now, but it opened up at like normal odds, which is why it was very popular on Twitter. That's weird to me, I would say.
Huh. Okay. Any book plays in this one? If you had to take something, I don't like it.
No, they're already breaking my, I don't want to say rule, but I don't like doubleheaders in general, and I'm already getting invested in the second one, so the first game can fuck right off.
Sure. W's. And your play for game 2 is the over.
Yeah.
Dubs. What about Yankees and Phillies? You know, I almost thought about putting the Yankees on the sharp reports, but that would be fading the system coming off of Sunday Night Baseball, right? But I feel like Luis Hill has, made the changes and fixes necessary to dominate here once again. I like this kid. I think he's an absolute stud. I think he's effectively wild. I think he's got some of the best stuff in baseball. And although he hasn't figured out how to locate it really yet, I do like the Yankees moving from plus 130 to plus 120 against the seasoned vet Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, I don't know what I really think about this game. Like, Hill's got to be better eventually. It's just probably a tough spot to do it in Philly, both because the home field there and the hitting conditions are always great, and it's a hitter's ballpark just in general. So I'm not really sure what to do with this. I'm surely not taking the Yankees with a lot of people on them, it seems like, and they're coming off the Sunday Night Baseball system, blowing out the Red Sox. But yeah, keep me off here.
I know they're in Philly. I know their offenses are stacked, although the Yankees haven't shown it much recently, and even the Phillies have kind of cooled off a little bit too. This total's high with these two pitchers.
It is. A 9 total's
total's
weird.
high. That total's high with Zach Wheeler and Gill.
I would say these two games between Yankees, Phillies, and Mariners, Red Sox look awfully similar to where they're, I don't know, one team, I guess, looks like the simple option, but the total looks ridiculous. Like nine looks ridiculous for the Yankees game, and I would say 8.5 with Gilbert and Pivetta. I know Pivetta just got moosed in cores, but that was a pitch arsenal thing. That's why we faded the Red Sox pitchers for a majority of that series. He's been nails coming out of the All-Star break. 8.5 with him and Gilbert is absolutely insane.
Agreed. Makes no fucking sense. Let's hope it means Red Sox runs, because that's one of my favorite plays today. Sox on the ML. All right. Give me the Twins on the ML as well. Fading Quintana. Look, I don't love it. I know I just locked in a Padres and Mets future to both win the National League, and hopefully one of those two teams does their jobs, but that doesn't mean we can't sneak in here and back Simeon, Woods, Richardson, and the Twins on the ML. Want to buy low on them, like what I've seen out of them in their last 3 or 4 games. They're healthy-ish, right? I'll take the Twins and fade Quintana with that weird earned run square up on the boards. Jovan, I'm liking the Reds a lot. You're liking runs in Chicago and Cincy. You've got the over, and you're thinking there could be a rain delay as well, which could help with runs. So W's there. Rangers and Cardinals, anything real quick in that game? I lean Palante on the ML, but I think I'm good.
I mean, Eovaldi had to pick him with the Rangers after they just got their shit pounded in the series against the Jays and swept. I would say it looks like a pretty easy bounce back spot.
Right?
Not thinking so.
A little too easy. Yep.
Yeah.
Hate the Cardinals on the ML. Definitely a strong lean there. Any Royals, White Sox leans?
I think it's just Royals by a million, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't want to fade Alec Marsh, probably knowing it's his last start in the rotation before he gets moved to the bullpen. Now they just got Lorenzen. Flexen is fucking terrible, and they've seen him a bunch. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be any different. What are the White Sox lost 14 in a row?
Absurd. They are the worst team in baseball history. They have to be. They have to be.
Yeah.
There goes Michael Kopech to the Dodgers, too.
Easy.
There they go. See ya. There goes the entire White Sox team. There's more to come. That's for sure. All right. Let's keep powering through. Almost done here. It's got to be the Astros ML. Jovan, are we getting to the counter? Fading Paul Skeens. I'm already fading the hottest team in baseball today and fading the Mets and taking the Twins on the ML. Might as well fade the best pitcher in baseball, too, with Paul Skeens again, right? Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, the Astros don't really strike out. And it's a little different when you're facing a pitcher that nobody's seen. And now they get to see a pitcher that everybody's seen. And they've been super aggressive against these type of pitchers. So I would say there's a reason we haven't seen. I can't remember the last time we saw a line move against Paul Skeens. And the fact that the Astros are probably the best team he's faced in quite some time. But Jake Bloss is on the mound. So give me a fucking break.
This Braves game is where me and Jovan differ on the cards. I like the Brew Crew, and I'm pretty sure he said he leans the Braves.
Yeah, Grant Holmes coming to pitch in like a modified bullpen game. Being at this price on the road seems a little odd to me. I really don't want to back the Braves, and I'm probably not going to because that team is fucking beat, and they're going against a winning organization, winning squad in the Brewers right now. But I would say that a minus 118 looks a little easy to me.
I agree. Colin Reyes squares, though, on Prize Picks look pretty solid. Like he's going to have a good day. Maybe the compromise there is the under in that game.
Could be. That total does look low, even though, I mean, the Braves can't hit, obviously.
Let's lean into that. And let's fade the Brewers lineup as well against Holmes if you're liking them on the ML. And I do agree that line is short. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe it's that under. And then real quick, Jovan, what's your play in the late night in Nats versus D-backs?
The D-backs team total over.
I fucking bet. All right. Dubs, let's get to the squad ride. We're already over time by a minute here. Goots, run that shit. I want to see that train. All right, chat. We had a solid week of squad rides last week, but we ended with a loss on Friday. Can we bounce back today and start the week off with a winner, please? All right, let's lock the fuck in. Jovan, favorite play of the day. What do you got?
I'd say it's pretty split between both of those overs. But due to the fact that one of them is a doubleheader, I say probably lean the Reds over.
Reds Cubs over?
Yeah.
Still at 9.5?
It is. It was at 9 right before we started.
Okay.
So it made the trip up.
Okay. Look, I love the Reds on the ML, but if you're telling me the Reds Cubs over is your favorite play of the day, more than down to put that in there as well. I think it correlates.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I like the Cubs bats a little more. So if you like the Reds bats, I like the Cubs bats. Me in the middle.
We're definitely taking the over. Okay. All right, Dubs. God, man, I don't know if I can ignore the Red Sox on the ML. I'll be completely frank with you.
I'm not going to ask you to ignore it.
Good.
Put it in.
Red Sox ML skis. Can we also put the Twins in there for me?
Yeah.
You down to fades the hottest team in baseball right now after I just talked about why they're going to go to the World Series? That makes sense, right?
Yeah, I'm in.
Sure. So we got the Twins, Red Sox, MLs. We've got the Reds, Cubs over 9.5. Anything else you're dying to add in there? I know, sharp report aside, I feel like the Astros are a pretty good look. I feel like, your D-backs team total over is probably a pretty solid look as well.
I mean, yeah, I didn't want to say it, Krabs, but I feel like he is going to get moose today.
All right, well, why don't we put both those plays in? Astros ML and Diamondbacks team total over.
Sure.
You good with that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Surely fade the Nats should be a good look, right?
I mean, knock on wood, but yeah, it's been a pretty good look for about 2 months now.
Not when we take them or fade them.
I don't know. I think the only time I've really lost on fading the Nats is with the Brewers and that one really weird series. I feel like when I've faded them, they've just not been great.
All right. Well, I'm happy somebody's making some money on that fucking team. Is it still 4.5 on the team total for the Snakes?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. Chat, we got a sub bank coming in from B-Ham 0830. Bang! Let's go, B-Ham. Way to give us some vibes, some energy, head into the squad ride vote here. And let's go ahead and put that poll up on the screen for the people. You got 5 plays. You got 5 winners to choose from. And you got 2 minutes. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Lock in. If you're watching on YouTube, that's great. That's cool. That's fun. Get your ass over to the Twitch page at Bookit Sports. Hurry up. Show some hustle. You got some time. Could not be easier to hop into Twitch at Bookit Sports and lock in your vote in the poll that's only on Twitch and not on YouTube. And also get more involved in the chat, much more active over here on Twitch. Okay, so lock in. If you want to watch on YouTube, that's fine. But do me a favor. Do your job, all right? And lock in your vote. All right, everybody gets one. It's a democracy here. It's fair. It's even. Can we lock in and get some winners? Can we get 100 votes today? I don't see why we can't. We've got hundreds of people in here right now as we wait for the Surge stream to start up. I know Chad is very eager for the Surge stream's return. They've missed Trent. Very excited to see what he's crafting up. All right, on today's slate. Jovan, right now, we've only got a couple seconds left, about a little less than a minute. It's looking like chat's loving that over between Chicago and Cincy. I got no qualms with it. What are you voting for yourself?
Yeah, I give my vote to that over.
Okay.
I feel like with the Reds, I just like to take advantage of their unpredictability at times.
Sure.
So I feel like this is one of those games where we get that after negative run scoring in the Trop, which, I mean, the Trop is where runs go to die, but Great American Ballpark is not that.
Okay. Let's get some runs, maybe even a rain delay mid-game. All right, even if they push it back, I still like that for runs, messing up the pitcher's routines. Let's get that rain moving and grooving. Hopefully not too much to cancel the game, though. All right?
Yeah, and I guess we do have to probably pay attention to whatever the second voted option is.
100%. The second vote matters here. Just in case there's a rain out chat, we'll go with the second vote. All right, W point there, Jovan. It's looking like it's going to be that over, though, between Chicago and Cincy. And would you look at that? There it goes. See ya. That's the squad ride for today. Fingers crossed we get a little bit of rain, but not too much to cancel the game. All right. W show today, Jovan. W's chat. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Talked about plenty. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Go give that MLB State of the Union and Trade Deadline pod a listen. We'll drop it in the chat one more time. And then go hang around in the Surge stream chats. And if you're feeling frisky, if you got a winner, feel free to pitch Trent a play. He's starving for some winners on this Monday afternoon. Bring the energy and bring the W place. All right? Dubs. We'll catch you guys again tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll be seeing. Peace, guys.